In my games, the most common mistake I see is not using the agent effectively. This happens usually because of not understanding the roles. This is where this video will come into play. The goal of this video is to give you a holistic understanding of how this role works, which will eventually help you to read the enemies and make better decisions. So there are 4 main roles, and among these 4 roles there are hybrids. Hybrids are the one that can fill 2 roles, and can doesn't mean you should. So let's start with duelists. As a duelist, your job is to take fights. Your team will help you do that. Where duelists shine is taking risky encounters. They could easily bail out of a fight using jet dash or arena dismiss. On attacker's side, your job is to take control of a side. That's easier said than done, but
you gotta do what you gotta do.
You can dash inside with jet and ask your team for util and cover from the back. As a defender, your job should be to deny the attackers from taking your space. Like here, I am actively contesting for my space. So why did I decided to fight mid? Just cause I saw that whenever they're pushing mid, that we are just losing the rounds from that. So I decided to fight mid so that they cannot easily take the mid space. And if they're flooding out, you can use your util and you can just try to stall them and take fights so that your team gets a chance to rotate. Duelists have a significantly low death impact, but in trade, if they could get those crucial frags of controllers and initiators, it would be a game changing for one side. Next up, sentinels. As a sentinel, your job is to take map control and prevent the enemies from taking it. When talking about sentinel, there is 2 main sentinel that comes into my mind, Cypher and KJ. And you can take the map control by using their Cypher traps and KJ turrets and alarm bot. So let's talk about sentinels in attacking. In lower ranked, they are used to only watch flanks. It's not completely wrong, but its primary job is to take map control and hold it. There is a good play. When you see your team is engaging in a fight after plant, you can wrap around behind the enemies and take their attention. This will stall them for retake, so they have to clear you first, then start the retake. You have to do this while making sure that no one is wrapping us. As a defender, your job is not to let them take side. If they try to push your setup side, make sure they get shut down or get heavily punished. And in defending, to play retake, your job is to catch opponents while your team is busy fighting inside. A sentinel's death impact varies according to the side. In attacking, it's negligible, but on defending, it's quite significant. Let's talk about controller now. As a controller, your primary job is to prepare the arena for battle, and you'll do this by using your smokes to cut off enemy angles. In attacking, when you're pushing a side on, let's say, A on ascent, there are just so many angles you get exposed to. Here's where controllers come in. Their work is to block off these enemy angles. Caution! These are smokes and enemy will sit in your smokes, so be careful if you're pushing through smokes. The death impact is significant. If your controller dies within 10 seconds of the game, it would be very hard to flood a site. In low elo retake, the biggest mistake I see that they smoke main instantly. It has its usage, but not all the time. Let's say the enemy is playing inside, then in that case main smoke is kind of useless. A better play would be to smoke mid side, and this will lower the angles you have to clear, thus making the retake effective. Let's talk about initiators now. Initiators have 2 branches, recon and flashes. Your job as an initiator in attacking is to start the flood by providing information of flashing enemies, so duelists could get easy kills. And abilities like Sova Drone in main will help to clear angles, so it would save time in the flood. Remember, don't use drones while pushing fast. It will slow down your push, and it's better to recon in sight rather than droning. In defending, the most common mistake I see is that when there is already X people in main and they know, they tends to use the reveal there. Instead, when they'll start the push, dart behind them or molly on the choke point. By that, the enemies will have to break or they will have to be shut down, or they're gonna get split. Their death impact depends on how much util they have. Every initiator has at least 1 rechargeable ability, and based on that depends their death impact. Be aware, your agent would be insta-locked many times. In that case, don't dodge. Pick another agent. It will help you learn how different agents work, which will help you to make counter plays against them. If you're starting out, your best mode would be to master an agent. As a starting player, you will win much more on gunfight. And as for lineups, you don't have to watch while starting out. You will know when you need lineup. Note that all these plays that I've mentioned in this video will not work every time. So improvise. This video is supposed to guide you on how to make good plays or what good plays are. And that's it. Now go win your games.